right, so let's just get settled into our meditation posture. And, I think before we attempt to sort of settle down, we need to settle our bodies, sort of reconnect with the earth, feet on the floor, about a hip's width apart. Sit right on top of your sits bones and lengthen the spine. Just imagine it's a string of pearls of light. And you're stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just imagine you're putting some space in between those vertebrae and just lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And take a nice deep breath. And if you like, you can just stretch the neck. Move the neck from the left to the right carefully. Stretch the back of the neck. And then just, if this is available to you, just imagine your ears are gliding back to be in line with your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, back of the neck. And allow your shoulders and your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, and all your limbs. And just allow yourself to kind of go inside. Whatever busyness has been happening today, whatever, if you have people you're dealing with, clients, partners, spouses, children, just kind of for the next half hour, just allow them all to be in another room, not inside your head. Just leave the real estate inside your head for yourself, for your own growth, your own development. And just notice if there are sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with the mind. And then bring the mind back to the breath and just notice the sensation of the air. So if you have had some training in the Theravada tradition, if you've done some Vipassana courses and you're familiar with finding the sensation at the base of the nose as you inhale and exhale, just try that. Or maybe it's more familiar to you to feel the rising and the falling of the chest or the belly, particularly if you have something around your waist. So just notice your breathing. Your breath is your friend. And the reason I start to focus on the breath is because it's something we do all the time. It's always there. It's consistent. And it becomes quite a good focal point. And notice the thoughts that might be arising in the mind. And maybe you can label those thoughts, give them a category. Could be as simple as just thinking. Or maybe remembering, ruminating. Could be something like worry. Just notice what it is you are thinking. It's really helpful if we can identify the thoughts. It's good to know what's going on in our mind, then we can work with it. And then we can just put ourselves on the bank of the river and just know that while we're on the bank of this river, watching it, we're free from the river. Now bring to mind all the people of your life. So these are your loved ones, your spouses and children, your best friends, the folks you care about deeply, who care about you. And then there's people who we find a little bit more difficult, and then there's our strangers. And just know that due to this samsaric world we live in, which is subject to change and impermanence, our relationships can change. And then, regardless of how you think about each of these people, they're actually all the same. They deserve our equal concern because they all want to be happy, they all want to be free from suffering, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for this enlightened mind. So bring to mind all these people of your life, and think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these folks. Then think of all the people on Maui, Lahaina. It's right in for those of us in California, it's a place that's so close to us, Hawaii. It's a place where many people go for a holiday. So in a way, because that island has given so many people so much joy, we have a responsibility, I think, to try and care for them as best we can. So I think we'll dedicate and motivate for all these people who are suffering, and then all the poor animals who've been separated from their owners, who are now wandering the streets. Sort of they're being trapped, they're being fed, but they're all kind of wandering around a little bit distressed. So quite distressed. So think of all the pets that are kind of lost and separated and displaced. Just make strong prayers that they all can get back together with their owners pretty soon. And then for ourselves as we're moving along our spiritual path. And think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so we can equally create positivity instead. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from our present suffering that we don't want anymore. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. When we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods, his medicine. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. So this is a Buddha with a light body, radiating light, made of light, almost like a hologram. You can also imagine that this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are shaped like lotus petals. And they're kind of long, and they have that beautiful shape. And he's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He's just looking at you with this love and compassion and complete acceptance. So however it is that you're turning up this evening, it's totally fine. There's a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart. The left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and particularly because the harm they've caused you is going to manifest as suffering for them sometime in the future. So I think I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of white nectar, or powerful, I guess it's not beams, it's just kind of pouring into you. Maybe imagine it like liquid or like a waterfall. And it's coming quite forcefully from Vajrasattva's heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Then feel delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified. And imagine there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of the speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows quite forcefully from the crown and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, and all the inappropriate speech, the blurting things out. All of this instantly purified by this powerful nectar. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So just imagine that every syllable that falls out of your mouth is of benefit to not only the people around you, but also to yourself. And next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasapa very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you turn on the light switch. The darkness in the room is instantly dispelled. And as the light hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all the attachment and neediness and anger and jealousy and bitterness, anxiety, resentment, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled as you recite the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyato Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe, Ambajasapa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasapa Dina Patita, Tita Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyato Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Ambajasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dino Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And now is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And just imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely, and eradicating even the subtlest, tiniest, almost non-existent imprints of negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your omniscience have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve and the fourth step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is the determination we make, the decision we make to refrain from harming. So just think, rejoice, first of all, in your own efforts, and then think of something that you've been working on. And just notice the change in your life and in this particular thing, whether it's talking too much, speaking out of turn, interrupting people, whatever it is your thing. Just work on it, just for a few seconds, if that's all you can manage, or a minute. But just think about it. Make a determination in the morning when you wake up. Okay, I'm just going to work on this today. And make a motivation to be able to focus on that one thing and catch yourself. So we just take it easy. Do it slowly, humbly. And this determination to not do something, this decision we make gives us the strength to change. And imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So next, our precious Lamas of Rinpoche would always recommend to meditate on this idea of emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side, and they also, just remember, the way things appear to you may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And so for those of you who have a teacher, just make a strong wish. We'll start with His Holiness, for His Holiness to live a very long and happy and healthy life. And also a strong wish for the swift return of Lamas of Rinpoche. And then also for our own teachers, any of our teachers that we have communication with, that we are talking to or receiving teachings from. Maybe for some of you it's Geshe Dakpa, Geshe Sherab. Geshe Dakpa is our Geshe here in San Francisco. So whoever it is you're receiving teachings from, just make a wish for them to live long. Okay. Lots of love, everybody. Sleep well. So nice to see you all. Do take care. I'll see you tomorrow evening. Okay.